Surviving infidelity. This is an update from yesterday's story, link in the description. Update: 5 days since I served my soon-to-be ex-wife, 30 female, of 7 years, now everyone is piling on me to talk to her. It helped me a lot. I have managed to get rid of most callers, there are only a few stragglers left still trying to pressure me. I met with Frank's wife, more on that further down. The two best responses turned out to be: 1. Why don't you ask her why we are not talking? This was very effective. 2. Follow up if number 1 didn't work. Imagine the trauma Sue has inflicted on me, for me to go no contact. You pressuring me is adding a lot to my stress. Will you pay for my psychotherapy if I have a total mental breakdown? No? Okay, maybe you should stay out of this then. A-okay, click. Secondly, I think I need to clarify a little. Many seem to think that I had full control and executed a flawless maneuver. The entire day, apart from the 10 minutes when I confronted her, I was a total mess. It took me 2 months of steeling myself in preparation to be able to pull off the 10-minute confrontation. I was hoping she would turn around at the door and come back down. She had dozens of chances to stop and come clean, but she didn't. I guess I was hoping up until the last second that she had stopped, I would have been able to talk about reconciling, up until the point where they got physical. It took everything I had not to break down in tears in the hotel. In fact, I started crying before I reached the end of the hallway. Also, I didn't do this as some kind of revenge, I did it to break free and regain a bit of my self-worth. Being cheated on was degrading, humiliating and emasculating. I am a shell of my former self. I do realize that this is because I loved her with all of my heart, and it's why I decided to go no contact. I don't think I am strong enough yet to face her without breaking down, and I will never ever again show any weakness in front of her, or anyone that might convey that to her. Asking the questions to Frank, surprising and confronting my wife, was all about me, not them. I took back control over my life, but I know I am too weak to hold on to that if I were to meet her today. So I will strengthen my resolve, steel myself. I will never again show her any kindness or consideration. For her, I will be nothing but a rock-hard, ice-cold, emotionless, indifferent ex-husband. I will burn her and Frank's life to the ground, once the divorce goes through. Until then I will work on bettering myself and getting on with my life. F them. They can do whatever they want, I can't control their choices, I can only control my own. Many have asked how I can be this cold and calculating. I think a few even called me crazy. I don't see it like that. Let me be clear, I don't enjoy this at all. I see it as absolutely necessary actions for my own well-being and sanity. Life is change, my marriage in this case developed gangrene, so I am cutting it off before it affects more of my body and causes permanent damage. I have also decided to not flirt or do anything on Tinder. It was a nice ego boost, but I am in a vulnerable state and I might cause someone else pain, since I am not really in control of my emotions at this point. It would be selfish of me to expose anyone else to potential pain just to stroke my own ego. I met with Frank's wife yesterday. We talked for hours at the coffee shop we met. She was devastated. She called Frank and confronted him with me next to her on screen. He begged, pleaded, all the usual stuff. She had been preparing for this as we talked, but still, she broke down and just hung up on him in the end. She ended up spending the night in my new apartment in the spare room. She just couldn't go home and face him. We talked all night and it was cathartic to be able to vent my anger with someone that understood what this betrayal feels like. I heard her crying herself to sleep last night. It was heartbreaking. I wanted to go and hug her, but I didn't want to make it weird or make her uncomfortable. I will ask her today if I can do anything to help. I have told her she can stay as long as she wants. Nobody knows about the apartment besides me. It's small and doesn't have a lot of furniture, but it has plenty of food and all the amenities you would need. She is trying to get her head on straight before facing Frank. Frank has been blowing up her phone with messages and apologies. When I left for work this morning she still haven't responded to any of them. The only person I have talked to beyond message 1 and 2, is my wife's mother. I like her, she is very nice and she has always made me feel welcomed and cared for. She told me that my wife would be committed to a mental facility due to talking about terminal self-harm. She has been in a bad way apparently since the hotel. I told her that she is no longer my responsibility. She made these choices, she will need to deal with the consequences. I would appreciate it if she didn't update me on my wife since it was already painful enough, and that I needed distance to properly separate myself from her. I informed her that there is absolutely 0% chance of reconciliation. The divorce will go through, we will not communicate at all outside of issues related to our children, and that will all be done in writing. I have enough just dealing with myself at the moment. So I am not as strong as many seem to think. I managed to pull myself together just enough to cut the cord after 2 months of intense effort, and I would probably devolve into a sobbing mess if I met her today. I need time to heal, and everyone calling prevented that. So, thank you again Reddit for helping me fend off the well-meaning people that were injecting themselves into my relationship on my wife's behalf. Now for the top comments. You got this. I know it's difficult, but just make sure you are eating healthy, getting sleep and exercise. Thank you, solid advice. Her threatening to delete herself is just manipulation. If she felt so strongly about your marriage, she wouldn't have cheated and withheld intimacy from her own husband. Stay strong, do not cave in. Like you said, her life is not your responsibility. I was thinking this might be the case as well. No contact is a smart move. Do it like you stated, at least until you are strong enough to face her without breaking down. What has worked for me, and it may work for you, is boxing. May sound odd, but beating the crap out of a bag is a hell of a lot better than staying indoors watching TV, or having a bottle call out your name. It can even help with your physical fitness. I used to box. I will get back to that. I need to vent a bit. Now for the next story. Wife cheated and manipulated our kids. I don't know what to do. Me, 34 male, and my wife, 33 female, had been married for 11 years. We have 2 children together, 10 male, 11 female. We were together for 15 years. I earn a decent living and earn up to 400–500K a year. But at times, I have to do projects which require traveling. Our marriage was good with several ups and downs. In October 2019, I had to travel to Europe for work. I stayed there for a month. When I got back from the work, everybody was a bit distant and cold towards me. They didn't come to receive me at the airport. I had to call an Uber. They ignored my talks and only communicated with me when necessary. I had doubts, so I asked my daughter, why is she acting rude towards me? She just said, hope you had fun at your business trip. This was out of character for her. Few days passed and I am confused about the situation. I asked my wife multiple times about their behavior. She always said that they were tired of long day at school. One night, I was checking my email on my family iMac. As I was finishing my work, I noticed that my wife's account is logged in. I thought of opening messages. I saw that one of her colleagues was on the top. I opened their conversation and scrolled through entire page, seeing their flirting, texting and exchanging nudes. They planned on meeting at hotels. Apparently, she had ended things with him because she was feeling too guilty about it. I confronted her. She cried and begged me to give her another chance. I had anger issues in past, so I simply took a drive to my brother's house and spent the night there. Next day when I came home, kids had already gone to school. She asked me to sit down on the couch to talk. She said that she was feeling alone at the time and he apparently made her feel special. I asked her about timeline and said that if she lied, I would give her divorce. She told me every detail. She had slept with him once at the end of affair. She felt disgusted afterwards. She said she had too much guilt and ended things with him. I told her that I would divorce her. I contacted a lawyer and told him to start preparing the papers. As we had a prenup signed, so divorce was an easy option. I went to my room and opened my Mac to collect some proof of her infidelity. To my surprise, she had deleted all of it. Next day, she threatened me to not divorce her, or she will take away our kids. She told them in the beginning of my work trip that I had an affair and had gone to see my girlfriend, when in reality, I had gone for work. She made fake conversations of me and another girl. She also told them that I would leave them alone on the streets to be with my girlfriend. She had manipulated them so much that they were convinced that I was the bad guy. In our country, if parents get a divorce, then the custody of children would be given to the parent by kid's choice. I was helpless at this point. I canceled divorce and proceeded to reconcile. It's been almost a year that I am going through this crap. My kids don't respect me like they used to, they don't show affection. My wife has been keeping the secret from my children. She also has been treating me like a crap. Our bedroom is dead and I haven't had sex in 7 to 8 months. Because of all the stress at home, I stay out of home most of the time. I go home only to sleep at night. This led to an emotional connection with one of my colleagues for past month. She is also divorced. Her husband cheated on her and left her for another girl in another continent. We have long talking sessions, dinners, and movie nights. I have been deprived of love and affection at my own home. I have told my wife to start showing affection. I try to kiss her, hug her, but I am always turned down. Last week, I got intimate with my colleague. This was first intimacy I was having in 9 to 10 months. It was the best action of my life. I have come here looking for an advice. Should I divorce my wife and be with my colleague? Or should I just live this double life? I have never been loved or appreciated in my home, but my colleague appreciates everything I do for her. If I leave my family, then my kids will think that their mom's claims were right. I will be the bad guy in the eyes of my kids for life. Any advice? Now for the top comments. Hire a private investigator while the divorce papers are being prepared. She's still seeing the affair partner, that's why your bedroom is dead. You're a meal ticket to her. I think hiring a private investigator is a good move in the process of divorce and uncovering the truth for the sake of my kids. You need to divorce. This fake relationship you have with your wife is not any better for your kids to be exposed to than divorce would be. As far as your wife manipulating your kids, all I can say is tell them the truth. They unfortunately probably won't believe you today, but someday they will realize what their mom has done and you will be a family with them again. There's no evidence left to prove her affair and kids does not believe me, so I think that I would always be a bad guy in their eyes. You should have told your wife's work about her affair. If her partner has a wife, tell her to and tell the whole entire family. You are being a doormat for your wife to run over and control. You need to stand up to her and be a man and father for your children. Your wife has no respect for you and apparently you don't even have respect for yourself for letting her treat you the way she does. Revenge affairs don't fix any relationships and only make them worse. Now you are just as bad as she is. This is a toxic relationship that is beyond fixing. You should get out while you can. Now for the last story. Unfaithful spouse is going back and forth on what will happen with our child. 29 male, so after trying for I don't know how long to save this marriage, I finally gave up and told her, 27 female, to go along back to her country and live the Peter Pan life she wants so much. That I am not letting myself get hurt anymore for her. She demanded to take our son back with her, but I refused. My only demand was that we try counseling and if that did not work in the end, then she could take him. This was something that she absolutely refuses to do and just wants to get divorced and take my son away. Just to clarify, she is from Britain and is currently living with me in the US. After things that have happened recently, things that have made me realize I need to stop trying to save us, she finally sat down with me and agreed to let him stay with me, while she goes back to her own country. Now later today, after talking to her friends, she has changed her mind and is demanding he come back with her to her country. Once while she was demanding this just now, she had her affair partner on FaceTime. He said nothing. Seemed to be just watching I guess. I thought for a moment that things were moving along to a bitter end. I'm getting fed up with the disrespect. She demands I don't say a word to anyone about what is going on between us, while she goes and tells her friends back home everything. I'm tired of the coldness and how she acts like she can do whatever she wants, not have a care in the world for what it is doing to me. To clarify some things. This has been an emotional affair she is having with some guy rat from back in Britain. We have been married for almost 5 years and have a son together. I've been doing my research and have learned to never get angry around her. Back when I was trying to bring her back, I avoided push behaviors and set up boundaries, some of which remained intact, but most of them have been knocked down. It's been a few days now since I've just given up on us, but my demand that our son remain with me is set in stone as far as I'm concerned. I just need some sort of support, ideas on what to do, and just general feedback. Sorry for the info dump, but I'm getting really tired of getting crap on and still expected to do all this crap for her. Also sorry for the cussing. Now for the top comments. Sorry for what you're going through. Absolutely tell people and keep your son with you. If she chooses her AP over her son, she is a useless human being. You did nothing wrong and deserve him in your life. Seek legal counseling ASAP. All the best. Throughout your text, 2 things are coming to my mind, but before I get into them, I want to applaud you for making a decision and sticking to it. First, go to a lawyer ASAP, and make sure that she can't take the kid away from you. You need to protect your kid and your rights as a father, as much and as quick as possible. Second, the amount of disrespect she shows you. Why do you allow her to bring her AP to a conversation between you and her, that is about your child? Why are you giving in to her demand, to not tell anyone what is going on? She has no right to demand anything and it is just another show of disrespect towards you. Are you afraid how she will react? She wasn't afraid of your reaction when she started her affair or when she ignored the boundaries you set afterwards. Tell everyone, your friends and your family. Ask them for support. Don't set yourself on fire to keep her warm. You are worth so much more than to be treated this way. Is your son a dual national? Does he have a British passport? Who has his passport, you or your wife? Definitely get a lawyer who specializes in this type of situation. You may need to get a court order so she can't run off with him and do it now. He doesn't have a passport yet. Should I get that going before she does? Recent update. Thank you everyone. I have told some of the important people already. And I'm going to look into the lawyer tomorrow. It's gonna be a long holiday season, but I feel like I've got all the mental work done that I could get done at this point. And that's it for this video guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day everyone.